YouTube session. In the last 2 weeks, I taught the topics on linear algebra, matrices, that is rank system of linear equations, and eigenvalues, eigenvectors. Now I am going to discuss a subtopic, numerical methods. So, in this numerical methods, actually, we are going to discuss numerical solution to algebraic equation. That is a polynomial equation in X, or algebraic equation means X plus 1 by X is equal to 0. Polynomial equation means X cube plus 3X plus 1 is equal to 0. Transcendental equation means an equation containing polynomial terms or algebraic terms along with exponential terms, sine, cosine terms, etc. So, before going to discuss that is numerical solution to algebraic equation, we should know some basic definitions. The first one is intermediate value theorem. So, the compulsory necessary condition is let f of x be a continuous function defined in closed interval AB. So, what is continuous function in closed interval AB means the given function f of x is continuous at every point x between a and b, and it has a existence of right hand limit at x is equal to a and left hand limit at x is equal to b. Such a function having two conditions fa and fb are of opposite signs. What does it mean? Opposite signs means if f of a less than 0, then f of b must be greater than 0. If f of a greater than 0, then f of b less than 0. Okay, two types. Opposite signs means. Once again, I am repeating. If f of a less than 0, then f of b greater than 0. If f of a greater than 0, then f of b less than 0. So that means product of these signs less than 0. F of a and f of b less than 0. Then the equation f of x is equal to 0 has at least one root lies between a and b. Okay. See, first I will show by geometrically, then by analytically. Y-axis, x-axis, this is origin, x-axis, y-axis. Okay, so continuous means, what is the geometrical meaning of continuous? The graph of fx can be drawn without breakings. Without breakings means no gaps. So, a rough sketch of the function fx I am drawing. So, this is x is equal to a. The corresponding x and y lies at this point on the curve. This is a. A coordinates x value a, y coordinate is obtained by function, that is the curve. And this point is, say, capital B, having x value, y value on this curve. The corresponding x value is x is equal to b. X value lies on x axis. So that b coordinates x value b, f of x, that is y value f of b. We know that from geometry, above x axis, function value greater than 0, below x axis, function value less than 0. So here, f of a less than 0 and f of b greater than 0. So this is the curve. This is curve f of x. This is no gap between a and b. I drawn such a curve continuous. So this curve meets the x axis at this point cross mark. So at this point, you will be having a number x value denoted by alpha, so that this alpha is the root of the equation, because on x-axis y value 0, that is f of x value 0, x is equal to alpha is a root of the equation. EQ means equation, f of x is equal to 0. So whenever a curve is continuous between a and b, between two x values, and if such that f of a and f of b are opposite signs, definitely that curve meets the x-axis. When a curve crosses or meets the x-axis, the corresponding x value is the root of the equation and the y value is 0, that is fx value 0. So now analytically, problematic approach. So let fx is equal to x cube minus 5x minus 7 is equal to 0. The highest degree x term is 3. So that's why this is a cubic equation. A cubic equation has how many roots? 3 roots. So roots may be real or imaginary or both sometimes. In real roots, the roots may be equal or distinct roots. So now we give one by one value for x starts from 0 and approaching the right side way. Right side to 0 means positive numbers, left side to 0 means negative numbers. Some equations you may have negative roots also. Anyhow, we'll start with positive way root. So first put x equal to 0. Function value at 0, which is minus 7. Minus 7 is always less than 0. Next put x is equal to 1. Just you give integer values only, so that we'll feel more comfortable, takes less time. Okay. And f of 1, this simplifies minus 11 less than 0. So the two function values f of 0, f of 1 less than 0. So we need to find one more function value like that. Whenever you have function values at two consecutive integers, at two consecutive values of x are of opposite signs, then only the equation f of x is equal to 0 has one root between the two consecutive x values. Here consecutive x values means 0, 1, 1 and 2, 2 and 3. So similarly f of 2 simplifies to minus 9, which is less than 0. So continuously we are getting less than 0. We'll try one more value. F of 3, we got 5 greater than 0. So these two consecutive function values between the two consecutive integers 2 and 3. So f of 2 and f of 3 are of opposite signs. Definitely this cubic equation has one of the roots lies between 2 and 3. So in this example, if you have f of 3 less than 0, then stop for finding function value at positive integers. Backtracking. Go to backtracking. Backtracking means give negative values for x, that is minus 1, minus 2, etc. Now, this is very, very important note point, which is asked in 2013 statement-oriented question. Okay. Now, if all the coefficients in an nth degree polynomial f of x are of same signs, that is all coefficients are of same signs except the constant term. What is the meaning? X square coefficient, x coefficient, if they are positive, then the constant term should be negative. X square coefficient, x coefficient, if they are negative, then the constant term should be positive. Just I took an example of quadratic equation. Similarly, nth degree equation. And the equation f of x equal to 0 has at least one positive and one negative root. Okay. See, here I will provide simple example, quadratic equation. Let x square plus 2x minus 3 be a quadratic equation. Be a quadratic equation. So this implies exact factors x plus 3 into x minus 1 x is equal to equating each factor to 0, x is equal to minus 3 and x is equal to 1. So this is negative root. This is first root. Now, observe this. This is a quadratic equation. X square coefficient and x coefficient are of positive signs, but the constant term is negative. Okay, I hope that everyone following and understanding. Now, so this is the first subtopic in numerical methods, numerical solution to algebraic equation or transcendental equation. That means an equation involving exponential terms, sine terms, cosine terms, including x terms, which is an example of transcendental equation. All other equations are called algebraic equations. Polynomial equations also come under the case algebraic equations. Now, so this f of x equal to 0, just now I told you, an equation. Such an equation can be solved by 3 standard methods, usually. This is the best method, powerful method, Newton-Raphson method. Out of 10 consecutive gate question papers, if you see that, this is 7 to 8 times compulsory. Okay, Newton-Raphson method, secant method, bisection method. Okay, now, before going to discuss one by one method, what is the use? That is, we cannot find all the equations, cubic equation or fourth degree equation or quadratic equation by factorization method or minus b plus or minus under root b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. Okay, so we have to solve such an equations by numerical method, that is stepwise methods. What is stepwise methods? For example, your exact value of the root is number 1. Exact value of the root for a given equation is say 1. We cannot find directly 1 by numerical methods. Okay, such an equation cannot be solved by direct methods also, factorization, etc. In such case, start with x naught. What is this x naught? Initial value, starting value or initial guess value, which is close to your alpha. Alpha is exact value of the root. It is near to alpha. Okay, so that is, in order to find the root of the equation, start with the initial guess value, starting value. I told exact value of the root is 1. Let us take x naught is equal to 0.9. 0.9 is near to 1, but it is not very, very close to 1. So use some iterative methods, that is as above mentioned. Find the next x value, that is denoted by x1, which is close to alpha, but is better than x naught. So like that, go by one finding iteration gives x1, x2, x3. As many iterations as you have to done, then you will be getting the answer, which is very, very approximately equal to 1. If you do more number of iterations, you will get at some stage 0.9999, which is very close to exact value of the root, say 1. Okay, so use some iteration formula to evaluate x1, which is another approximation, which is called first approximation value to the root alpha. This is original root, exact root, that is 100% correct. x0, x1, x2 approximation values to the root. So x1 must be closer to alpha than x0. We continue the same procedure repeatedly until xk and xk plus 1. That means x0, x1 or x1 and x2 or x2 and x3. These are called 2 consecutive iteration values. Okay, are same up to some accuracy. Up to some accuracy. Same value means, for example, if you take x2 and x3, second iteration value, third iteration value, x2 is equal to 0.993. x2, x3 is equal to 0.9934. This is 32. So if I mention 3 decimal places, so here I consider 4 places. When the question requires some accuracy, 3 decimal places, so 4th place is greater than 5, then add 1 to the 3rd digit and discard the digits 4th place onwards. If the 4th digit is less than 5, discard the digits 4th digit onwards. If I mention 3 decimal places, so x2 and x3 almost, I mean, they are always same up to 3 decimal places. That is 0.993. There is the meaning of some accuracy. Okay. Now, I am moving to one by one method in the next slide. The first one is Newton-Raphson, short form NR, iterative formula for finding the root or roots, singular or plural. Generally in gate questions, they can ask one root only because numerical methods takes more time. They never ask fifth step or seventh step, as many iterations doing that. Because of 1 mark, 2 marks, they will ask maximum third iteration or second iteration only. Maximum times first iteration, that is x1 value. So far in previous gate questions, if you refer, they ask x1 value only. It's a rare case x3, x2, etc. So of the equation fx equal to 0 is xk plus 1. Some people, this is written as xi plus 1 is equal to xk minus f of xk divided by f dash xk. This dash or prime stands for derivative of f of x. Okay. For k is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. In particular, if I take k is equal to 0, this is x1 is obtained by putting in the above k is equal to 0. So x1 is equal to x0 minus f of x0 divided by f dash x0 is the first approximation value to the root. Similarly, x2 is obtained by putting k is equal to 1 is the second approximation, and so on, x3, x4. So before going to note point, we'll do one example, then I will come to note point and some other applications. Okay. So some points I'm going to explain. When your derivative, that is in the denominator, you have derivative. If it is 0, doesn't exist. That is, this method fails. Convergence is fast if x0 is near the root. What is the meaning of convergence is fast? So when you are applying this method, Newton-Raphson method, if they ask find the root of the equation up to 2 places, 3 places, this method generally taking 2 to 3 iterations. That is called convergence is fast. Your convergence means your approximation value root is very, very close to the exact value of the root. So within 2 to 3 iterations, 4 iterations, that is called convergence is fast. Okay. Suppose if your original root is 1, if you take x0 is equal to 0.1, then convergence is slow. That means it takes more iterations to approach our exact value of the root 1. This method is better than the remaining methods. Of course, I didn't explain remaining methods, but it is the fastest method. It is a good method. Okay. Next, this method is useful in cases of larger values of f dash x. What is larger value of f dash x means? Slope of the tangent to the curve is the very high, that is nearly vertical. Slope of the tangent. Tangent means it is a straight line, touches the curve at a point. If that straight line is almost nearly vertical, it is in the shape of vertical. That means we know from our childhood classes, slope of horizontal line is 0, slope of vertical line is undefined, infinity. So if the bigger values of slope, then this Newton-Raphson method is very, very useful, and the convergence is fast also. For example, here denominator is f dash x. Okay, larger value 1000, 10,000. If then your iteration values in 2 to 3 steps almost they are equal. That is when the graph of fx while crossing the x-axis is nearly vertical. Okay, so yes, I'm going to do this first problem. The second approximation root of the equation 3x is equal to cos x plus 1 between 0 and 1 with x0 is equal to 0.6 by Newton-Raphson method. Okay. So all of you please start with that x1. I mean x0 I told you already. Just a second. So solution. X0 value 0.6. That fx value. So consider all x terms in the equation in the left side. The corresponding left side is denoted by f of x. 3x minus cos x minus 1. Okay. So f dash x, because we are going to find Newton-Raphson method using 3x derivative with respect to x, 3 cos x derivative with respect to x is minus sin x, so this becomes 3 plus sin x. Okay, so and this is by NR method, that is Newton-Raphson method, comma, giving k is equal to 0, will be getting x1 is equal to x naught minus f of x naught divided by f dash x naught. So what is x naught? 0.6 minus what is f of x naught? In f of x, put x is equal to 0.6. So 3 into 0.6, 1.8 minus cos 0.6 minus 1 divided by in f dash x, put x naught, that is 0.6. So 3 plus sine 0.6. So convert your mode, calculator mode, in radians because of sine and cos trigonometric terms. So this simplifies to, please calculate, 0.6 minus 1.8 minus 1, 0.8, cos 0.6 is 3 places. If I consider 0.825 divided by 3 plus sine 0.6 is approximately 0.564. So this is simplifies to 0.607. This is the first approximation root. First, APP stands for approximation value of the root. Now they are asking second approximation in the question. Okay. So by giving k is equal to 1, you will be getting x2, that is x1 minus f of x1 divided by f dash x1. So what is x1? Just now we found 0.607 minus f of x1. So 3 into 0.607, which simplifies to 1.821 minus cos 0.607 minus 1, this bracket divided by 3 plus sine 0.607. So this simplifies to approximately 0.6071. So up to 3 places, the 2 consecutive iteration values are equal. Okay. So therefore, the second approximation value for the root of the given equation, EQ means equation, is 0.607 up to 3 decimal places. Okay. I hope that everyone following. So please subscribe the channel for getting more videos. So in the upcoming weeks, we will have some other engineering mathematics classes followed by technical subjects also. So I am moving to one more application by Newton-Raphson method. So we know how to find the square root of a given number n, cube root of a given number n, reciprocal or inverse of a given number n. By using calculator, you will get directly answer. But we are using numerical methods. So that is stepwise analysis. So find the second approximation for the square root of a given number. So how do you calculate? By calculator, it is not possible. So Newton-Raphson method helps a lot. So very, very important, this note point. the pth root, square root means power 1 by 2. That is exponent is 1 by 2. Cube root means exponent is 1 by 3. Pth root means the power is 1 by p. Pth root or directly. Pth root iterative of a given number. Just a minute. So I will write once again. The NR, that means Newton-Raphson iterative formula for finding the pth root of a given number n greater than 0 is xk plus 1 is equal to, so take care in this, p minus 1 multiplied by xk to the power p plus n divided by p times xk to the power p minus 1 for k is equal to 0, 1, 2, so on. So, please remember, please by heart this one. I will prove a particular case so that you will remember easily this general case, that is pth root. Okay, see, just if I put let p is equal to 2, that is square root you will be getting. What is your answer? Xk plus 1 is equal to xk square plus n divided by 2xk is the square root of n from NR method. This is directly obtained. Okay. See, let me cross check. Proof. We are finding square root of a given number. The given number is n. So square root of n is equal to, we don't know. You will be getting some answer x, say. Now converting into quadratic equation after squaring, bringing all the terms to one side. X square minus n is equal to 0. So this is an equation. So when you know equation, the left side is usually denoted by f of x. Implies f dash x is equal to 2x. Okay. Therefore, NR method, that is iterative formula, is earlier how much given? Xk plus 1 is equal to xk, general formula I am taking, f of xk divided by f dash xk. So which is nothing but xk minus f of xk, f dash xk. That is in fx and f dash x, put x is equal to xk. So xk square minus n divided by 2 times xk. When you take LCM, 2xk into xk, 2x square, 2x square k minus x square k. That is xk square minus of minus n plus n divided by 2xk. So which we got directly in the above box by putting p is equal to 2. Like that, if they ask fourth root or fifth root or cube root, so every time you proving in this way, or it is also better method which will take just 20 seconds more than remembering this result. If you by heart or remembering directly the first red color box, you will be saving the time. Otherwise, maximum it will take the extra 20 seconds time by proving in this way. Okay. I hope that you understood. So please put a tick. This is very, very important. Please by heart. Based on this, we'll do 1 or 2 examples. See, this is number 1. I mean, this I'm doing first this number 2. After that, I will back to 1. So here k values mentioned 0, 1, 2. Newton-Raphson method mentioned. Non-linear equation. See, this is already given. We don't know it is a square root or cube root or some other thing. Okay. So how I am doing? Xk plus 1 is equal to how much given? 2 by 3 xk plus 5 by 3 xk power minus 2 will come down, becomes positive power of x. Okay. So this I can write comparing with Newton-Raphson method, adding xk, subtracting xk. So this is xk one minus 1 by 3, we know 2 by 3. So this is xk minus xk by 3 plus 5 by 3 xk square. So this again I can write xk minus xk cube minus 5 divided by 3xk square. Can I write like this? Please check. So it looks like xk plus 1 is equal to xk minus, this is f of xk. This bracket is f of xk. And this bracket is f dash xk. So this is n, xk cube plus n. So which is cube root of the number n is equal to 5. That is cube root of 5. So which is approximately 1.7099. So other method. If you feel difficulty by comparing the NR iterative formula, so given, follow this other method. Given xk plus 1 is equal to 2 by 3 xk plus 5 by 3 xk square. So usually put xk plus 1 is equal to xk, okay, is equal to some alpha. So this is 1. Then 1 implies, that means 1 gives alpha is equal to 2 by 3 alpha plus 5 by 3 alpha square. So alpha minus 2 by 3 alpha simplifies to alpha by 3 is equal to 5 by 3 alpha square. So this simplifies to alpha cube is equal to 5, implies alpha is equal to cube root, that is 5 to the power 1 by 3, which is approximately 1.7099. Accordingly, answer is option E. So what is this alpha? That is, this method converges to a root of the equation. Here that is cube root of the given number 5. Okay. Whichever you feel comfortable, apply that method. So usually I am writing a note point, not only this Newton-Raphson method, any method converges. Converges means you will be getting exact value of the root. If xk plus 1 is equal to xk is equal to alpha. What is this alpha? Root. So the two consecutive x values, the two consecutive iteration values equal to alpha. Alpha means exact value of the root. Then only the method, that is the series, converges. Okay. So now I am going to do this first example solution. Here also Newton-Raphson method mentioned. The series converges to. Just now I told. Xn plus 1 is equal to xn by 2 plus 9 by 8 times xn. This is your series. Series means it is an iterative formula that is giving x0, x1, x2, x3, etc. 1 by 1 x value. That is called series. So the series converges if xn plus 1, instead of k letter, it is n letter given. Xn is equal to alpha. What is this alpha? 100% root. So therefore 1 implies alpha is equal to alpha by 2 plus 9 by 8 alpha. So alpha minus alpha by 2 simplifies to alpha by 2, and the right side remaining term 9 by 8 alpha. So just cross multiplying, after that 2 is cancelled, alpha square is equal to 9 by 4. You will be getting alpha is equal to plus or minus root 9 is 3, root 4 is 2. So this is equal to plus or minus 1.5. Since no option is negative, because options mentioned, all options are positive, I can take alpha value directly, 1.5. Accordingly, option A. If you feel difficulty or some disturbance, not understanding, a later alternative method. Okay, another method, that is direct method, finding x1, x2, etc. So x0 already given. So the above first method, without x0, I can proceed at, that means we can proceed like that. But with x0, we can do directly iterative method, 1 by 1 x1, x2 finding 0.5. Okay. So n is equal to 0 gives x1 is equal to x0 by 2 plus 9 by 8 x0, which is nothing but 0.5 divided by 2, 0.25 plus 9 by 8 into 0.5, that is 4. Okay, 9 by 4 is 2.25. This simplifies to 2.5. Next, n is equal to 1 gives x2 is equal to x1 by 2. In the above series, just putting n is equal to 0, 1, etc. so on, plus 9 by 8 times x1. So 2.5 by 2. So this is 1.25 plus 9 by 8 times x1. So this is 20. 1.25 plus 0.45. So this is 1.7. So like that, n is equal to 2. This will be getting x3 is equal to x2 by 2 plus 9 by 8 times x2. So 1.7 by 2, that is 0.85 plus 9 by. So this is almost, you will be getting, I think in this stage, 1.5. Okay, please check. So that is starting from x0 0.5, x1 2.5, it is reducing, x2 1.7, x3 1.5, or in the next step you may get 1.5 also. Please check. Okay. So a doubt from student. Is it for all departments? Yes, this Newton-Raphson method for all. I mean, recently it was deleted for ECEE, but for mechanical, civil, biotechnology, chemical, etc. remaining, they are all having this Newton-Raphson method, that is numerical methods. Now, I am going to move the next method, secant method. This is also called method of chords, CHORDS, or a modified version of regular falsy or interpolation method, but doesn't require here regular falsy, which is taking more number of iteration by secant method. So directly this secant method is asked many more, I mean, instead of regular falsy method 2 to 3 times so far. The secant method iterative formula for finding roots of the equation fx equal to 0, root or roots, xi plus 1 is equal to xi minus f of xi into xi minus 1 divided by f of xi minus f of xi minus 1, or this way also some people can be taken as xi plus 1 is equal to xi minus 1 into f of xi minus xi into f of xi minus 1 whole divided by f of xi minus f of xi minus 1 for I is equal to 1, 2, 3, etc. By putting I is equal to 1, in previous method, we can start from giving I is equal to 0 onwards, but here I is equal to 1 onwards. Why? This method requires 2 starting values, that is 2 initial guess values. But previous Newton-Raphson method takes only 1 initial guess value. So if I take I is equal to 1, it will be giving x2 is equal to x0 into f of x1 minus x1 into f of x0 all divided by f of x1 minus f of x0 is the first approximation value. But previously x1 is the first approximation value in previous method. But the current method, secant method, x2 is the first approximation value, x3 is the second approximation value, and so on. Here x0, x2 are 2 initial guesses, but they need not satisfy the condition. Their function values are of opposite signs. Okay, so whenever function values are of opposite signs, definitely one of the root lies between the 2 consecutive x values. If they are not of opposite signs, then the root lies between the 2 x values or doesn't lies between the 2 x values. So that means here f of x0 and f of x1 are of, I mean, or need not be of opposite signs. So no guarantee of convergence if not near root. Okay. Suppose your root is 2. Your x0, x1 is some minus 0.1 or some 0.2 very far away to this root 1. So that is convergence slow or sometimes no guarantee. What is the meaning of no guarantee? Means suppose while using this method x2 is equal to 0.1, x3 is equal to minus 0.2, x4 is equal to 0.4, sometimes positive, some other iteration negative. So it is called divergence also. That is no guarantee for convergence. This method fails if whenever 2 consecutive function values are equal. For example, here f of x1 is equal to f of x0 or f of x1 is equal to f of x2. Because denominator is 0, then the corresponding x values are not defined, becomes infinity. Okay. So we'll do one example. So this is the question asked in GATE, all these questions. Applying the secant method also mentioned. Sometimes, see, remember all of you, while solving these problems, that is approximation value to the root of the equation, if the method is not mentioned, default case, it is to be considered, the method should be considered as Newton-Raphson method. That is the best method, better than the remaining methods, whenever the method is not mentioned. So far in all the problems, whatever I considered, the method is mentioned. So function, that is, this is equation 1 plus log x plus x by 2 is equal to 0, starting with x equal to 0.3 and x equal to 0.4. These are the two starting values, that is two initial guesses, which is denoted by x0 and this is x1. So given x0 is equal to 0.3, comma, x1 is equal to 0.4. So find the corresponding function values. F of x0, that means 1. Put x is equal to 0.3 in the function. 1 plus log, that is natural logarithm, basic logarithm, log 0.3 plus 0.3 divided by 2 means 0.15. So this is approximately minus 0.28, and f of x1, 1 plus log 0.4, log 1 value 0, greater than 0 to less than 1, logarithms are negative, plus 0.2, which is approximately 0.05. Please check. Kindly excuse me. This is minus 0.05 and that is plus 0.28. I calculated and in a correct way, but I wrote in the reverse way. So this is minus f of x naught means f of 0.3 minus 0.05 and this is 0.28. Therefore, by secant method, comma, x2 is equal to x0 into f of x1 minus x1 into f of x0 whole divided by f of x1 minus f of x0. So x0 value 0.3 into f of x1 value 0.28 minus x1 value 0.4 into f of x0 minus 0.05 whole divided by 0.28 minus of minus 0.05. So this is up to 2 decimal places. Please check 0.32 whether you are getting or not. Basic logarithm 0.3, 0.4. Okay. So this is the first approximation to the root. So GATEFORUM providing many courses, that is live online classes, test series, and refresher course, etc. Please subscribe the channel. So now I am going to move that practice questions. I hope that everyone following. So please try from your side. The first question, the second approximation to a real root of the equation x cube minus 2x minus 5 is equal to 0 by secant method between between 2 and 3, that is x0 value 2, x1 value. I am giving the hint for this. Please try. X0 value 2, x1 value 3. So find f of x0, f of x1, and x2 is x0, f of x1 minus x1, f of x0 whole divided by f of x1 minus f of x0. Please simplify. Similarly, x3, x1, f of x2 minus x2, f of x1 whole divided by f of x2 minus f of x1. So you will be getting approximately 2.09. This is equal to 2.09. This is second. APP stands for approximation value. Now for this solution. So here according the answer is option D. Inverse, finding inverse square root of n. Okay. So let 1 by root n. Root n means square root of n. There is asking inverse is equal to x. So squaring and inverse, you will be getting 1 by x square minus n is equal to 0. Because when there is square root, you square on both sides. When there is a cube root, cube on both sides. When there is already inverse, taking again inverse on both sides. Okay. And then square root is eliminated by squaring. So this is your f of x. From this, f dash x is equal to 1 upon x square, which is x power minus 2, whose derivative is minus 2 by x cube. So NR method iterative formula is xk plus 1 is equal to xk minus f of xk divided by f dash xk. So xk, f of x in f dash x, put x is equal to xk, 1 by xk square minus n divided by minus 2 by xk cube. So this minus by minus plus xk plus xk cube by 2 multiplied by 1 by xk square, or you just take out 1 by 2 common. Okay, let me check. So this is xk by 2 I can write, and then minus nx cube by 2. So this is 3 by 2 xk minus n xk cube by 2. In all this, I can take common half. 1 by 2 into 3xk minus nxk cube. So accordingly, the answer is option B. Sorry, answer is option A. This is wrong. Option B. Option C wrong. Option D. Like that, you can find this third example also. So, when you take LCM, you will be getting here xk square and denominator 2xk. X square derivative is usually 2x, so which is nothing but square quadratic equation. This is now this is the number n. So I think you will be getting directly. This is also option A. Or alternative method, I told you. Even in this also, in all options, here option wise, put xk plus 1 is equal to xk is equal to alpha, and you will getting alpha is equal to 1 by square root n. But here, put alternative method, indirect method, xk plus 1 is equal to xk is equal to x. Instead of alpha, I am taking x, which this x is a root of the equation. Okay, then we get x is equal to half times x plus 3 by x. That implies taking x LCM, or x minus x by 2, gather all x terms one side, that is x power 1 terms. And reciprocal of x term by 2 is equal to So kindly excuse me, small disturbance. So we have done almost the two problems. The third problem, a small disturbance happened. Now this is 2 cancelled. You will be getting x square is equal to 3, quadratic equation. So answer is option A. Instead of alpha, I took x because all options are in x terms, that is square term or cube term. Okay. Now, the equation g of x is equal to x is solved by Newton-Raphson iterative method, starting with an initial approximation x naught near the simple root alpha. This is nothing but explanation of Newton-Raphson method. If xn plus 1 is the approximation to alpha, at the n plus 1th iteration, then 4 options ABCD given. Okay, see, fourth one, solution. Let original function f of x is equal to consider all x terms on the left side. Gx is already left term. Shift the right side x term to the left side. You will be getting g of x minus x. Implies immediately find first derivative because Newton-Raphson method already mentioned. So this is g dash x. X derivative with respect to x is 1 by NR method comma xn plus 1 is equal to xn minus f of xn divided by f dash xn. So this is xn minus, in f of x and f dash x, put x is equal to xn respectively. So you will be getting g of xn minus xn divided by f dash xn. That is g dash xn minus 1. Now this numerator minus I can adjust with the denominator so that the denominator two term symbols interchange. So, or you can leave like that also. Just by taking LCM implies xn plus 1 is equal to xn into g dash xn minus xn minus gxn plus xn divided by g dash xn minus 1 plus xn minus xn cancelled. So any option is there? Xn g dash xn minus g of xn g dash xn minus 1. So you'll be getting directly the option B answer. Okay. So now the fifth one. This is a linear equation. This is linear equation, first degree equation. The root of ax plus b0 ab constants can be found by the NR method with a minimum of how many iterations? See. Solution. Let f of x, the linear equation expression ax plus b, implies, because Newton-Raphson method you find first derivative ax plus b derivative a. Multiplication constant will not affect by the derivative. Constant alone derivative 0. X derivative with respect to x is 1. So by NR method, comma x1 is equal to, by giving k is equal to 0, x0 minus f of x0 divided by f dash x0. So your x0 is, we don't know, f of x0 a x0 plus b divided by, this is a. So x0 separate into fractions, that is split the terms of the fraction. A x0 by a gives x0 minus b by a. So finally you will be getting x1 is equal to minus b by a. So which is the root of the equation every time, minus b by a. Okay. So what is x2? You will be getting again minus b by a. What is x3? You will be getting minus b by a. See, for example, x2. What is x2? x1 minus f of x1 divided by f dash x1. Okay. Minus b by a minus f of x1 means a x1 plus b. That is a into minus b by a plus b divided by a. So a cancel, minus b plus b 0, which is again minus b by a. So that's why you will be getting the answer in first iteration only, because linear equation. You will be getting directly x is equal to minus b by a. This is simple general question. So with this I am closing that. I hope that everyone following. If you have any doubts, please post them in detail. please subscribe the channel. If no more doubts, so we'll be leaving. Thank you. Bye bye.